This program is proudly brought to you by Telecom Limited and Daytech.
Good night, Papua New Guinea. I'm Malcolm Wyra, and welcome to another episode of InFocus. Now, as Papua New Guinea looks to celebrate its 50th anniversary, it honors its relationship with other countries and multilateral institutions in the world who have assisted in PNG's development. One such is the European Union. Joining us for discussions, we have the European Union Ambassador to Papua New Guinea, His Excellency Jacques Fradin. Ambassador Fradin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Firstly, Ambassador, what is Europe Day and what happened on 9th May?
That's an excellent question. It's not a date by itself. It's not a victory. It's not a defeat. In fact, the 9th of May is the birth of the European Union. We have to remember that Europe committed suicide twice, First and Second World War. And after the second one, it was time for peace, but how to build peace. And I think it's a good lesson for everyone how European Union was born. In 1950, Mr. Schuman, who was the then French foreign minister, made a statement, a powerful statement. And he described that, in fact, it's better that countries have economic ties than war disputes. And this was the start of the building up the EU. The EU started with 6 member states. It evolved its structures during all these days. And now, in 25, we have 27 member states. And we celebrate European Day as the foundation of the European Union. We are united in diversity. It's an union. People sometimes confuse Europe and European Union. Switzerland is not in the European Union. Norway is not in the European Union. Ukraine is not yet in the European Union. The European Union is 27 member states who have decided to share their common interest and to be united in what we call the EU.
Now, how is the European Union member states represented in the country?
That's an excellent question, Malcolm. Not enough. We have 27 member states. We do have also most of them located in Canberra. And I would like to thank the PNG government for facilitating what's called their accreditation and presentation of credentials to the Governor General, and then they are fully accredited to this country. Yesterday, we had the Austrian ambassador who came here. We're going to have the Spanish one, we have the Italian one, we're going to have the Romanian one, and these give a lot of credibility to PNG. So when it comes to representations of member states, we have only one, but not a small one. The member states who does a lot for this country, there was this president visiting in 23, it's France. And the ambassador, His Excellency Pierre Fournier, is contributing greatly to the EU influence in this country. So when it comes to representation, we have also 145 delegations in the world. We are part of it. And so we are part of, I would say, one of the biggest diplomatic networks in the world. And PNG is one of the nuts of the big network.
Now, currently, the European Union has a delegation in Papua New Guinea. What sort of role does it play?
Some people say that we are a delegation. Some people say that we are embassy. Some people say that we are High Commission. In fact, we are a diplomatic representation of the European Union. I'm an ambassador, but we are called delegation because we are not a member state. We have a political, economic, and development role. This is what a delegation does. So it's about public diplomacy, it's about trade and relations, it's about defining how we work with the government. So this is the usual role of any, I would say, embassy in the world. Maybe with a big difference. We have a powerful reachback, which is Brussels, where the European Union is located. And even if we have a limited footprint, which is not so limited, in fact, we do have, when it comes to PNG, a huge portfolio for investment. And I will come back to this point later on.
Thank you, Ambassador Fredin. We now go for a quick break. Join us on the other side for more discussions. Welcome back. You're watching In Focus. Now, Ambassador, how do you see the partnership between the European Union and Papua New Guinea evolving in the coming years?
We've been here since 1977, so 2 years after your independence, and since then we have still maintained our presence and reinforced it. I would just say that considering the interest at stake and how we have evolved together, we went from a donor-recipient relation to partnership relation, which is a better one. In fact, I would say that we inscribe our action in the Samoa Agreement, which was signed in 2023 with the African, Caribbean, and Pacific states, the 15 Pacific states, which is the framework in which we are working. So when it comes to work with the PNG authorities and our partnership, it's based on common values, it's based on unbiased principles, and it's based on the fact that we are a reliable partner. When it comes to the partnership with Papua New Guinea, it's threefold, I would say. First one is, and starting with that, is cooperation, where we have almost spent 3 billion until now from PNG. We have currently 1 billion committed with PNG. It's a grant, they are not loans. So the development was the first part in which we work in PNG since 1977. We also have trade and economy, which is a big part of it. Our partnership is based on what we call an economic partnership agreement, which was signed in 2009 by Papua New Guinea and give us a lot of leverage to work for the good sake of Papua New Guinea when it comes to exchange with the European Union and make business, because this is also part of it. And finally, in the last point, which is, I would say, the new one from 2010, which is linked to the Lisbon Treaty. Before 2010, the European Union had no diplomatic role per se. There were domains in which we are not committed, like diplomacy, like security. And since that date, we have created what's called the External Action Service, which is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the European Union. And all our embassies, delegations, got a political and diplomatic role. And this is discussed with the PNG authorities every 2 years in what's called a political dialogue. And from that, we see how we start and how we develop our relation for the next 2 years. The next one will be in Brussels in 25 by the end of the year.
You mentioned common values. What sort of values does the European Union share with Papua New Guinea?
Democracy, which is a good one, especially in nowadays world. Independence of justice. When it comes also to human rights, when it comes to respect of the international order, respect of the UN values, and also going for a more sustainable world, and also develop a fair economy in this changing world. These are most of the values that we share together.
Now, Ambassador Fredin, how does the European Union work in Papua New Guinea, especially around the projects that it is implementing?
In fact, we've been there since 1977, and we are evolving when it comes to the projects that we are developing in this country. So 3 billion until 21, I would say, were given to PNG for many projects. We started with education. We also did vocational education. We built 17 centers in the country. We did many buildings, but this is the past. Currently, since 21, we, I would say, 4 major lines that we're following. One, which is going to stop in 26, which is called STRAIght, Support to Rural Entrepreneurship in West and East CPIC. I was just there last week inaugurating the last airfield that we completed. And this is a very nice project, I would say, when it comes to what can be an example for PNG to follow when it comes to its own development. Then we have a big project, because this is a challenge that we do have now, which is called Forest, Climate Change and Biodiversity. It's a 60 million euros project, and it's conducted in coordination with the relevant PNG agencies. We also have been committed to wash, water, sanitization in this country since we started. I was last time in the movie, in the theater, and they presented a couple of Australians that came in this country 30 years ago. They went in a remote region and they needed to put some tanks. And during the movie, they mentioned that 30 years ago, the only reliable partner they found was European Union. I was really proud. Just to say that you have a legacy in this country. And the last one, but not the least, in which we are working is good governance. We have a partnership for good governance. And I would say that this is also one way. It's not very visible. It's an action which is not visible and it's difficult to measure the impact, but it's also powered of common values with PNG, which is good governance. All in all, when I speak now, we have 1 billion grant committed for PNG at the time I'm speaking.
I understand there are some trade and economic links that are currently being set up between the European Union and Papua New Guinea. Could you elaborate on them?
In fact, the European Union is a global player. The European Union is one of the major economies in the world. European Union has a lot of experience when it comes to our 145 embassies in the world. And so we're applying what we know to Pacific and to PNG. We have an economic partnership with Papua New Guinea. This economic partnership agreement, I would say, PNG was wise. They signed it in 2009. They were the first one to benefit from him. And I would say that since it has just been a success, this is for free quota and duty-free market. It enables us also to, I would say, help PNG to set up its own organization. So we were the one who supported and created your Trade National Office. We are supporting also the way you can implement through a regional program our trade agreement. So this EDA, how we call it, it's a continuous training. There are Pacific trade seminars which are conducted every year. The last one was in January in Brussels. And we have some key successes when it comes to exchange with the Papua New Guinean. The trade balance between PNG and Europe is in the favor of PNG for 4 billion kina. And we are the fourth or fifth importer from Papua New Guinea. We import 60% of farming goods. We import at least 30% of processed goods, and the rest is also raw materials, etc. We can do more. We want to widen it and deepen it. But it's amazing to see that cocoa is going to Europe. We love chocolate. You know what's happening now in the world with cocoa. I'm very proud of the trade program. People in CPIC are very happy with the trade program because the cocoa price is going through the roof. We supported it. We also import 80% of your oil palm. We import your timber and also fish. We are one of the biggest importers from Papua New Guinea when it comes to canned fish. And this is, I would say, our proudness. We are happy about it, but we can do more. We want to do more, especially in this competitive world. That's I would say about how we do trade with Papua New Guinea.
Thank you, Ambassador Fredin. We now go for a quick break. Join us on the other side for more discussions. Welcome back. You're watching InFocus. Now, Ambassador Fredin, what are the common challenges for Papua New Guinea and the European Union?
We are living in a changing world, Malcolm. You just have to watch the news every day. Don't watch them every day because otherwise you think the world is dark, but the world is blue. And I would say that in this evolving world, we need to be united with our common values in order to address the challenges together. The European Union is a reliable and credible and permanent partner. The challenges that we face today are, the first one I would say is climate change. The second one is sustainability, prosperity, stability, and also the human dimension. In all those challenges, we are supporting Papua New Guinea. We are supporting a rule-based international order. This is challenged. The European Union is ready to discuss with its partner if we need to address and change the multilateralism dimension but we need partners to do that. The European Union is a big machine. And even if you are here in PNG, or maybe a delegation only, we have a huge machine in Brussels which helps us for that and helps pay PNG for that. And that's what we're currently doing. When it comes to common challenges, the most and biggest difficulty is to work together. It works well in PNG. We have very excellent relations with the ministries. We have excellent relations with the departments. For us, we work very well with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. When it comes to development, we're very well with the Ministry for Planning and the Department of National Planning and Monitoring. And this is essential. It looks like a bottleneck that we need to overcome together. And it works because we have established excellent relations and we work perfectly with our partners. One of the biggest challenges is the security of this region. And when it comes to security, it's about implementing the Blue Pacific strategy, the Green Pacific strategy, which explain exactly where we want to go with this country. It's also PNG vision for 2050, where we also look at where PNG wants to go. And this is guiding our principle. So there are challenges, but there are many opportunities. And I prefer to focus on the opportunities because the challenges are well known by everyone.
What are the European Union's plans for PNG in the near future?
In this year of Jubilee, I can proudly say that, in fact, today and tomorrow, the European Union has been and will remain a credible, reliable, political, economic, and development partner. That's our plan for the future. When it comes to what we're going to do, we learn from the past. We learn from the evolution of this world. And we've been learning that nowadays, PNG deserves maybe some other actions from our end. And we have developed what's called the Global Gateway Strategy. The Global Gateway Strategy is to have bigger impacts in connectivity, climate change, resilience, and digitization, education, health. And this is our new approach. It's a new approach, but for instance, the STRAIGHT program in East and West CPIC is part of this global gateway because it's supporting the rural entrepreneurship, it's helping the economy, it helps also for banking. It's a global project. As I said, I was there last week. We were very well welcomed by everyone. And we inaugurated the 5th airport. Airfield, sorry. Airport is bigger than an airfield, but an airfield anyway. And this is part of opening PNG and the connectivity. We also have projects which are coming to start. One is about PNG port in Rabaul. We are going to help and support the green and the climate adaptation of the port of Rabaul. And this is a new way of doing it because we are providing a grant. So we give money, and we are supported by others, in this case, this European Investment Bank and Agence Française de Développement. And together, we are almost an impact of 400 million kina in order to do this. We have another project, which is about water, better access to water in different provinces. This is also done by the European Union, the European Investment Bank, and it also enables better access to water in even in Port Moresby. This is going to come. And we have other projects in electricity and energy. So yes, we have projects for the future, and we are really looking forward to our coordination with the authorities and also other partners in PNG.
At the regional scale, what would you be doing for the Pacific region as a whole?
That's an excellent question because, in fact, we are well represented in the Pacific, in the region. In fact, we have one embassy in Australia, or delegation. We have one in Fiji, one in New Zealand, and one here in Port Moresby. The delegation in Fiji is looking at the regional aspects. For all the other Pacific islands in the Pacific, PNG is favored because we have one delegation only for Papua New Guinea. That gives you the interest of where and what we want for this country. But we need to inscribe our action regionally. And regionally, we are also addressing biggest challenges. PNG has a huge maritime domain, so we're supporting this. PNG has a lot of interest in blue and green economy. We are supporting this. So we want, I always paraphrase your Prime Minister, we want a green and blue PNG at peace and developing.
Now, finally, PNG will be celebrating its 50th anniversary soon. What would you like to say to Papua New Guineans regarding its relationship with the European Union?
When I arrived there, almost more than 2 years ago, I came with Western eyes. You can read everything you want about PNG until you reach the Port Moresby airport. It's just in the books. So I would say that to my friends from PNG, now I almost see PNG like someone from PNG, and it's really pleasant. This country is blessed. You look at PNG and you see a massive and immense blue maritime domain, maybe the 4th in the world, with a lot of fishes. You see a beautiful country, bigger than most of the European Union member states. You see a beautiful vegetation. You see, I don't speak about the 800 tribes, the 1,000 dialects. I don't speak about the natural resource. It's blessed. So PNG has everything to succeed. But we have common challenges. They are well known, and the authorities are addressing them. It comes to rule of law. It comes to education. It comes to health. It comes to managing properly the resources of this country. It's also gender-based violence, sorcery. We're acting in all those domains too with the authorities. And in this year of Jubilee, I would say that we collectively need to look in the 25 next years. In the 25 next years, the population of Papua New Guinea will have doubled. So what are you going to do for these young people who will be 25 in 2050? Some would say it's difficult to manage. I would say this human capital is a gift. And how do you manage it? So in this year of Jubilee, European Union will stand by PNG and remain a reliable partner for everything related to our strengths, our priorities, and our interests. So PNG is a young country, but it's a country which has a lot of experience, and it has a lot of human values and human capacity. So I would encourage PNG to use it. So happy anniversary, PNG. Europe will stay with you. Europe will remain in PNG as a reliable partner, and we are really happy to be here and really happy to work with you because you are the gateway to Pacific. You are in between Asia and Pacific, and because you're worth it. That's why also I wish PNG a happy 50th anniversary.
Ambassador Jack Fredin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Malcolm. A pleasure.
Well, viewers, that ends this episode of InFocus. Do join us again next week, Monday, on our regular time slot of 7 p.m. Till then, bye for now.
This program was proudly brought to you by Telecom Limited and Daytech.